Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Lemoncookie Classic Tournament. We have 4 more exciting first round matches in this episode, and we will start with 2 ECW veterans who also wrestled in WWE. You can see them on your screen. Tajiri, the Japanese buzzsaw, and Mike Awesome, a much taller but yet also agile athlete. 2 men who made a name for themselves in Extreme Championship Wrestling. And in our main event, we will see Randy Orton going back to his roots as Legend Killer when he fights Scott Hall, the bad guy, in our main event. Also, Chris Jericho against Hardcore Holly. And Kota Ibushi, New Japan against the Big Boss Man. That's a very, very weird matchup, but still exciting to see. For me, this will be very, very hard to predict. We start with Tajiri and Mike Awesome. Let's see if I got the 15-minute time limit in. Yeah, got that. So let's get it on. Referee Charles Robinson rings the bell, and we have, as I just said, 15-minute time limit. I haven't seen a time limit drawn the last episode, which is nice. I don't want to see any more of these. The size and strength advantage certainly goes to Awesome here. But Tajiri, you can never underestimate this guy. This guy is a former multiple-time Cruiserweight champion of the world. And he can certainly bring the fight to Mike Awesome here with these devastating and painful kicks. Maybe the best kicker in the wrestling history. Mike Awesome here with a body slam on Tajiri. Just a 1 count. And Tajiri with a body slam of his own. First minute over and a stiff shot to the midsection, and Awesome already going for the cover, but not that easy, not that quick. Only a 1 count. Inverted atomic drop and a lariat by Awesome. Nice move here. And a quick arm drag by Tajiri. And leg sweep. Oh, Awesome going for the early covers in this match. He paid attention, saw that some of the athletes in this tournament don't keep track of the time, don't look at the clock and run into the 15-minute time limit draw. But Awesome, these early pinfall attempts, I don't think they're a good strategy, because that is much too early. They won't even bring you a 2 count that's this early in the match. Or maybe he's just wanted to demonstrate to Tajiri that he's taking no prisoners and that he's wasting no minute of this match. Tajiri with those leg sweeps, trying to keep the big man grounded. It's another scoop slam as we're getting closer to the 4-minute mark, and an Alabama slam like spinebuster in the lariat. And when I mentioned the Alabama slam, the man who uses this move as effective as anybody else will be seen in the later match as Hardcore Holly takes on Chris Jericho. Clobbering blow to the back by Awesome. The master of the Alabama Slam against Y2J Chris Jericho will be seen in our 3rd match of the night. DDT by Tajiri to Mike Awesome. 4.5 minutes have passed, and he keeps on grounding the big man with his leg sweeps, hooking the leg, but this is not even a 1 count. And Tajiri keeps on hitting these same moves. This is still a bit annoying for me that the wrestlers in this game always keep on hitting the same moves, and high cross body over the top rope to the outside. Yeah, as I said, Awesome is one of the few big men. He's really a huge guy if you look at him, but he can also fly. He can go to the top rope. He can hit moves like that, and a simple power bomb. Maybe not the Awesome bomb, but a very stiff power bomb, and this was almost already it. 6 minutes in the match, and Awesome already with a 2.9 pinfall attempt here. Keeps hitting those lariats in the middle of the ring. Tajiri's certainly in trouble here. Gets punched and collapses to the ground. Now Awesome with a suplex-like maneuver to Tajiri, but Tajiri counters with a side Russian leg sweep. We are getting closer to the 50% mark. We look at the time, 7.5 minutes. Half of the time will be over in a few moments. And Tajiri with those lethal kicks for the first time in this match. He needs to hit more of these. Maybe go for the tarantula in the corner. He can hit that move on anybody. No matter how big you are, how strong you are, how heavy you are. And another high cross body to the outside by Awesome to Tajiri. We have seen more high flying from the big man than from the cruiserweight here. It's spinebuster to the outside. Remember, it's a 20 count, not a 10 count. But not even a 10 count would have been enough to defeat the Japanese buzzsaw here. DDT by Tajiri on Awesome. Tajiri is refusing to quit and he's kicked him right in the face, but this didn't even knock Awesome out. Awesome just shrugged it off after just getting kicked in the face. Right hand and a hurricane run at him. That was not a smart move. Awesome is a master of the power bomb. And he wins as easy as this. It was not a squash, maybe not an extended squash, but Tajiri got defeated in impressive manner, impressive fashion here by Awesome. 9 minutes, 9 seconds. That was really not a intelligent move, not a smart move by Tajiri. To go for a hurricane run against a man who is known for using multiple powerbomb variations. Awesome hitting that powerbomb on Tajiri, and that was enough. 71% match evaluation. The Japanese buzzsaw didn't stand too much of a chance in this match. And as I already mentioned in our second match, we will see a very unusual matchup. I only included a handful of non-WWE guys, Japanese guys I know from the Cruiserweight Classic. I included Zack Sabre Jr. in this tournament and Kota Ibushi. Because I watch in New Japan sometimes, but not that often. But I knew these guys from the Cruiserweight Classic. They impressed me, so I include them in this tournament. And this guy, you can see the Big Boss Man in his Attitude Era outfit, which looks like he's a member of the Shield. He could be a member of the Shield in that outfit. Maybe he could replace Dean Ambrose. He's gonna fight Kota Ibushi. This is not a dream match for wrestling purists, for New Japan purists, who might have a problem with Kota Ibushi fighting the Big Boss Man of all people in the first round. But yeah, the draw of the first round gave us this matchup. And yeah, I include the Big Boss Man, of course, in this tournament. There you get Kota Ibushi. Golden Star Powerbomb is his finishing maneuver. I included the Big Boss Man because he was an original member, participant of the Deadly Game Cruiserweight Classic, a Deadly Game tournament for the WWF Championship at Survivor Series 1998. The tournament, as I mentioned, as I explained, is the inspiration for this tournament. So I included all participants. So the Big Boss Man will fight Kota Ibushi. Kota Ibushi, of course, one of the favorites to win this whole tournament. But you should not underestimate the Big Boss Man. The Big Boss Man, he's just one Boss Man slam away to eliminate you from the whole thing. He can literally catch you by surprise with a Boss Man slam. And if he does that, I guarantee you, you're not going to win this tournament. The Big Boss Man is as tough as nails, and he has to be defeated here by Kota Ibushi. Big elbow after the Irish whip here to start this match. Of course, all the New Japan fans will hope that Kota Ibushi makes it to the second round here and not get eliminated by the Big Boss Man, who doesn't have the reputation of being a great technical wrestler. But as you can see, this man is very tough, very vicious in the ring, and he's a veteran of the game. Kota Ibushi needs to deal with that. This is not an opponent Kota Ibushi is used most of the time. The Big Boss Man is not trying to wrestle a 5-star match here. He's just here to whip your ass with painful clobbering blows to the back. And Kota Ibushi, but Kota Ibushi, he can also not only wrestle a technically sound match, but he can also beat you up. He's punching him with forearms and chops and kicks and kicking and punching Kota Ibushi. He can wrestle this brawl style that the Big Boss Man is showing us here. A sidewalk slam by the Boss Man on Ibushi, and another one for good measure. Take a sip of my beer here. A stiff, vicious headbutt using his own head to cause damage to the opponent. And he's choking him, and he's got a 5 count. As Danny O'Brien would remind the referee, throwing him into the turnbuckle and hitting an avalanche to the corner. But Ibushi, he's younger, he's faster, but can he overcome the big boss man? Another Irish whip and an elbow. The boss man, the corporate henchman in the Attitude Era, is punishing Ibushi here. Back suplex. The boss man can also wrestle if he wants to. Most of the time he chooses not to do, but he can hit you with suplexes and technical maneuvers as well, but he can also just try to choke you out in the center of the ring. The big boss man is in control of this match, believe it or not. Elbows and punches and kicks, and Ibushi is really struggling to find a rhythm in this match. One more time, front face lock and the elbow to the back by the big boss man. Goes to the corner again, and the boss man with a suplex attempt, but Ibushi slips out and hitting a belly to back suplex on the big boss man, but the boss man gets up earlier despite being the one who took the move. This shows who has the upper hand here in the first 5 minutes. The boss man has the advantage. Going for a suplex once again and suplexes Ibushi to the outside. Boss man resting in the center of the ring. He doesn't have the highest amount of stamina. You have to admit that. But he is in control, but gets surprised. Oh, no. Powerbomb by the boss man. And we saw that in the first match with Tajiri. I just wanted to say, Ibushi surprising the boss man with a Hurricane Rana, but it got immediately countered into a powerbomb. That move eliminated Tajiri in the first match, but Ibushi able to kick out at the last millisecond here. 7 minutes in the match, and Ibushi with those kicks to the midsection. And now a stiff kick to the face of the boss man, trying to show him that he does not respect him, and the sit-down powerbomb on the boss man, but boss man able to kick out. Half of the time is over. And back suplex by Kota Ibushi. Knife edge chop. So far in this tournament we have seen a lot of great technical wrestlers getting eliminated in the first round. When I look at the amount of people, at the group of people who have advanced to the second round, there are a lot of big names, but not so many great 5-star match candidates. A lot of great technical wrestlers have lost their first round match so far in this tournament. Will this trend keep up here with Kota Ibushi and Chris Jericho maybe? Chris Jericho and Kota Ibushi could get eliminated by the big boss man and Hardcore Holly in this episode. Stiff knee to the face by Ibushi on the boss man, and this was almost it. And most wrestling purists would hate that if the boss man and Hardcore Holly would eliminate Ibushi. And oh my god, what the hell was that? 2.9. I don't watch too much New Japan. I don't even know how to call this move, but I know that move. That was the boss man slam, and this match is over. I guarantee you that. No, Ibushi kicked out of the boss man slam. Oh my. Boss man slam, and Ibushi kicked out at the last second. After Ibushi hit that impressive move on the boss man. Boss man with those avalanches to the corner. We only have 4.5 minutes left. Both men hit each other with those big moves. Ibushi suplexes the boss man out of the ring, but he should not waste too much time. He's resting in the center of the ring. This is of course important, but we are running out of time. The boss man heavily breathing on the outside. Backbreaker by the boss man. 11.5 minutes on the clock, and the sidewalk slam once again. The boss man is bringing the fire to Ibushi and hitting a big pile driver. Dropping him on the outside. Ibushi gets back up immediately in a big snap suplex. Will we maybe see even a time limit draw? And Ibushi going for the Golden Star Powerbomb. Last ride like sit down powerbomb, and the boss man kicked out. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. What the hell? The boss man going for the second boss man slam. But Ibushi with the adrenaline running and Zuigiri by the big boss man. The boss man slam was hit for the second time, but Ibushi got back up. And the third boss man slam. The boss man slam for the third time here. And the big boss man eliminates Kota Ibushi. 13 minutes, 16 seconds. I told you so. If he hits the boss man slam, you can go home. And the big boss man has eliminated Kota Ibushi. And I know a lot of wrestling fans who will hate this result, but you have to live with it. You have to accept it. The big boss man defeats Kota Ibushi. 86% match evaluations for maybe the best technical wrestling match I have ever seen of the big boss man. He eliminates Kota Ibushi. As the trend continues that the stronger and more powerful wrestlers dominate the smaller and more technically sound guys in the first round of the Lemoncookie Classic Tournament, we will see what happens in this next match. Chris Jericho and Hardcore Holly, two veterans who faced each other multiple times in the Attitude Era, who know each other well. I think Hardcore Holly is down here. Yeah, we got the Alabama Slammer. And where is Y2J? In his most recent form, not his New Japan look, but I used the Chris Jericho, who looks like the Chris Jericho of his last WWE run here. You can see that he's got a little heavier, got a little bit older, but he's still Y2J Chris Jericho, the first ever undisputed champion, one of the all-time greats, a man who always knows how to reinvent himself. I think they even made him a little bit too fat here. He's not that... Okay, maybe he is, but he's still Y2J Chris Jericho. He is a future Hall of Famer, and he is one of the heavy favorites to win this tournament. But Hardcore Holly, similar as with the Big Boss Man, you should not underestimate this guy. He starts this match with a vertical suplex of all moves. 9 seconds in the match, dropping Jericho on the back, and now going for this camel clutch-like move. Hardcore Holly, he has the reputation of being one of the most hard-hitting and tough wrestlers in the history of the game. He's not the best technical wrestler, but he is a legitimate tough guy. He's beating the hell out of Jericho here. He was a locker room leader in his days. He sometimes used questionable moves to beat respect into the young wrestlers who came into the business. Something you don't see that often nowadays, as much as I can tell, as much as I've heard. Jericho here, but Jericho's also a man who comes from the same era as Hardcore Holly. Back suplex, both men fought each other, for example at the Royal Rumble 2000 for the Intercontinental Championship, with the 9th wonder of the world, China, involved. They have fought each other multiple times in the past, and Hardcore Holly got the better start here, and hitting that Bulldog takedown on Jericho and running the ropes with the big striking elbow here to the floor, front face lock, and an elbow to the back. Jericho is struggling, and that would not please too many internet wrestling fans if Jericho would also get eliminated here. If Hardcore Holly and the Big Boss Man would go to the second round, and Kota Ibushi and Y2J Chris Jericho would go home. We still have a match with Orton and Scott Hall in our main event, but the smart mark will certainly want Jericho to advance here. Hardcore Holly, not a very popular wrestler among the internet fans. Jericho, of course, one of the internet darlings. Hardcore Holly taking him down and continuing to beat his face in the mount position, clobbering blows. We are getting closer to the 5-minute mark. Jericho struggling to find a way into this match, hitting a body slam on Holly. Now going for that side suplex, this time able to connect. And Hardcore Holly maybe with the best dropkick in the business. He has the reputation of hitting a very beautiful dropkick, and you just saw it into the corner. Jericho with the Irish whip to the left corner and a stiff forearm to the face. Jericho, he can go all styles. This is what Jericho's big advantage has always been. He can wrestle any style. Jericho can brawl, he can fly, and he can wrestle a technical match, and he can wrestle a submission style match. Jericho can do it all. Hardcore Holly, not so much. Hardcore Holly, as his name suggests, wrestled a lot of hardcore matches in his career. He's more of a brawler. And hitting that big Falcon Arrow to Jericho, but Jericho got his feet on the middle rope. Now these haymakers by Hardcore Holly and a stiff right hand. Holly is dominating here. Jericho is in dire straits, but Holly can also hit some big moves off the top rope. He's waiting for Jericho to get back up, and a flying clothesline to the back of the neck of Jericho, and another of these beautiful high angle drop kicks by Holly, but Jericho counters with a swinging neck breaker like maneuver out of nowhere. Almost. Holly going for another vertical suplex and suplexing Jericho out of the ring. 8 minutes on the clock. We have 7 minutes left, and he's caught Hardcore Holly for a reason. Got a steel chair, but not able to use it. But remember, and he's getting a second chair. We have disqualifications in this tournament. It's not very smart move. He swung the chair, but Jericho ducked it. He missed with the chair. Maybe you should be happy about that, because that would certainly have been a disqualification if he would have been. And the code breaker by Jericho. If he would have hit him with the chair, he would have gotten disqualified. Code breaker was not enough for Jericho. He hit that move out of nowhere. Now the Falcon Arrow, and this time Jericho not able to make the ropes. Oh, Jericho able to kick out. I don't know what Hardcore Holly was thinking when he tried to hit Jericho with the chair. But maybe the we've seen it multiple times in this tournament. Running power slam, we've seen running power slams, but that the referees did not disqualify the wrestlers. No Hardcore going for the cover. Jericho able to kick out. We've seen Dean Ambrose slamming Samoa Joe on the chair in the second episode, not getting disqualified. We've seen multiple low blows, no disqualifications. I'm wondering what these guys have to do to get disqualified, but hitting somebody with a chair probably would have been a disqualification. And Zuigiri by Jericho. We are almost running out of time here. Only 4 minutes left till it's a world backbreaker by Jericho. And Hardcore Holly with the inverted atomic drop and a lariat to Y2J. And the third drop kick. Both men down. Only 3.5 minutes left. Both men are not the youngest wrestlers, so their stamina tank might not be the biggest in this tournament. And another dropkick by Holly. But Holly himself stays on the floor. He had the advantage in this match. Northern Light suplex by Jericho. Oh, and almost the three count. DDT by Hardcore Holly. We are running out of time, but both men obviously don't have much in the tank left. Hardcore Holly with the fifth dropkick of the match, now climbing the top rope and hitting the big leg drop, and Jericho was lying on the chair. I don't know how much damage this chair did on Jericho here, but now Hardcore Holly's locking in the sleeper hold and beats Jericho. Hardcore Holly beats Chris Jericho. The internet wrestling nightmare has become reality. Hardcore Holly defeats Chris Jericho in 13 minutes and 12 seconds. Now that is a time. 79% match evaluation. Big Boss Man and Hardcore Holly eliminate Kota, Ibushi and Chris Jericho. They join Mike Awesome to make it to the second round in this episode. I need a little bit more beer when I think about that. I'm unbiased. I don't have favorites. But this will make a lot of people scratch their head. What is going on here with Chris Jericho and Kota Ibushi? Here we got the next one. The bad guy, Scott Hall. He's gonna fight Randy Orton. Randy Orton When he was younger, when he was new to the business, he called himself the Legend Killer. He beat up legends like Mick Foley. He beat Mick Foley in the match that maybe made his career at Backlash 2004 when he defeated Foley in a hardcore match for the Intercontinental Championship. He disrespected legends of our industry. He beat them up, he hit them with the RKO, and now he's going back to his roots as the Legend Killer. Tries to eliminate the legend of Scott Hall from the Lemoncookie Classic Tournament. If I am able to find Randy Orton here, I know I've got him somewhere. I already saw him yesterday, but where is he right now? As I said, putting things in an alphabetical order would help so much. Here he is, and he's got many different RKO versions. He is not the young guy anymore that he was when he called himself the Legend Killer, but he still wants to go to the second round and get rid of the first legend he's facing in this tournament, the bad guy Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, however you want to call him. Also one of the few legends of our industry who were never able to win the world title despite being a Hall of Famer, despite being a big name. Scott Hall, I said that about Jake Roberts in the last episode. You can say basically the same about Scott Hall. Scott Hall wants to win the big one in this tournament, punching Orton in the face here and throws him out. Orton is younger, of course. He's already been in this business for over 15 years, but he's still not even in his 40s. He can still wrestle for maybe 10 or 15 years if he wants to. Randy Orton, one of the greatest careers in wrestling ever. Multiple-time champion on all shows. In half Boston crab here by Scott Hall, not showing any ring rust here, attacking the arm of Orton. Call him the Viper, call him the Legend Killer, call him however you want by Randy Orton. He can hit that RKO from all positions. We've seen that multiple times throughout his career. This has become an internet meme or a running gag even for people who don't even watch wrestling. The RKO can be hit out of nowhere. There's so many memes on the web with that very move. People laughing their asses after that, but these two guys don't have anything to laugh about here. They're beating the hell out of each other. Stiff elbow to the neck by Orton to the bad guy. Oh, hits him with a overhead belly to belly suplex. I'm very glad that we haven't seen a time limit draw in quite a while, and also Hall trying to end this match early, going for the cover multiple times already in the first 4 minutes. In the first few episodes of this tournament, we have seen quite a lot of time limit draws. There were episodes where we had 4 matches and 2 time limit draws. I was afraid that this would happen much more, but we haven't seen any time limit to draw in this episode and not in the last episode. I hope this keeps going like that. Orton with a elbow and a kick and a DDT by Orton. 5 minutes in the match. Neither man has an advantage. Still pretty 50-50. Hall hitting that front face lock elbow and a football tackle to Randy Orton. Big right hands getting exchanged here. Both men staring at each other. And both men go down. But Hall, the first one to get back up to his feet and going for the cover. On 2 count. Solid 2 count here. Maybe Scott Hall has a slight advantage so far. Bitch slap here by Orton. And a choke slam by Hall. But Orton doesn't stay down for too long, and a stiff forearm to the face. He blocked that fist by Hall. And RKO out of nowhere. What the hell? He hit an RKO, but Scott Hall got back up to his feet earlier. Scott Hall got an RKO and didn't even care about that. How in the world is that possible? Swinging neck breakers now by Orton. Scott Hall got RKO'd, but had the adrenaline rush to not care about that now. Orton went for the RKO a second time but missed. And somehow Orton is in a worse shape here than Scott Hall. He hit the RKO on him, but Hall able to get back to his feet earlier. This blows my mind. What the hell was that? Punches here by Hall. Irish whip to the corner, to the right corner. Now putting him on the top rope and going for the Razor's Edge off the top rope. Razor's Edge from the top rope. On almost the 3 count. My God. I didn't expect that move this early in the match. Scott Hall with the Razor's Edge from the top rope. Now Hall on the top rope. Elbow drop. Elbow drop. Hall is not a guy who goes to the top rope too often, but he just did. And dropping the normal elbow for a good measure. And going for the regular Razor's Edge. And hits it. And hits it. And hits it. Going for the cover. Randy Orton not able to grab the rope. And Scott Hall eliminates Randy Orton with the Razor's Edge. 9 minutes 48 seconds. Very decisive victory for Scott Hall. He got RKO'd early in the match, but he did not care. He defeated Randy Orton in less than 10 minutes. 87% match evaluation, and Scott Hall wins. And this, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this was a very, very, very weird episode. We've seen 2 matches who didn't even go 10 minutes. 2 very decisive victories by Hall, by Awesome, and 2 upsets, I would say. Maybe not upsets, but results not everybody will like. I talked about that a lot. I don't want to do this anymore. Hall, Holly, Bossman, and Awesome go to the second round. In our next episode, we will see some interesting matches. For example, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat against the Bulgarian Brute Rusev, and AJ Styles, the Phenomenal One, against Cassius Ohno. These are 2 of the matches you will see in the next episode. This will be uploaded in the following days on Lemoncookie TV. I hope you enjoy the Lemoncookie Classic Tournament. I hope you will tune in next time. Stay tuned. See you soon. My name is Michael Lemoncookie. Bye bye. Have a nice day. See you.